I stopped. I'm out. I'm done. I stopped collecting steelbooks. I stopped buying them. For me, there's a lot of reasons why I did that, but it's kind of frustrating because now you go into Walmart, pretty much the only version available on a lot of the new releases. I was never a steelbook collector initially. I was always afraid they were going to get damaged. There were so many of the ones I would see in the stores that were banged up and damaged just sitting on the shelf, and that's just a frustrating thing. So if you're going to spend that money to get the steelbook, you get it home and you're going to get damaged ones. And now I have plenty of damaged ones, and that's the biggest reason I'm not collecting them anymore. I have no reason to buy them. I have some cool ones in the collection, and those ones I'll probably keep. But this is what started the whole thing for me, and it was these Universal Monster. I think they're absolutely amazing. The artwork is top-notch by Alex Ross. And it's just, oh, these are really cool. So I had to have it because being a huge fan of The Creature from the Black Lagoon, looking it up while I was in the store, I was buying this Dracula set. I was like, oh, they got all of those monsters. I got to get them. And that's what kind of gave me the little bit of the bug. And then shortly after I bought this, you know, you could find a lot of the steelbooks were $10 or under. And getting the movie for the cheapest possible price, you're going to get a lot more in your collection. I didn't buy it for the packaging. I bought it because it was less money. But then around that time, the Hocus Pocus release. Now this one here I thought was super cool. I love the aesthetic of this. I don't know why it was not part of any of the standard releases. This could have been a really cool slipcover at any point, or just the actual movie cover. This is one of the first ones that got damaged. It fell off the shelf. It's really banged up real bad. So you got some really gnarly dents right there. I was able to bend it back to make it functional. It's not perfect, and it never will be. There's no reason to try to replace this because the potential of it damaging again is a lot higher than if it was a standard release. Now this is just really cool, but also with all this awesome artwork, most of them sit on the shelf and you can only see the spines. Unless you have like a really awesome way to display these or the room to display them, having a large steelbook collection, I don't really understand it. And I've been informed many times you can buy little baggies to put these in to make them safer, or you can get these protective hard plastic shells. My whole entire collection, the reason I have it is to watch and enjoy the movies. And if I have to remove it from like a protective vault just to get to it, what's the point? And so I've just stopped collecting them, and this is the biggest reason here. Many of the ones I have that just don't have that heavy damage will have little nicks and dings just for sitting on the shelf. And I'm not really sure how they got there because some of those movies don't get watched all that often. And then when I go to watch it, it's there. A few of these movies I have collected specifically because it's my favorite. And I think that's where the steelbook market really always was get your favorites. Or if they knew something was going to sell a ton, they would make a steelbook version to get more, collectors, more people into buying that version of it. Recently, the market seems to have been flooded. Not all the steelbooks I think are awesome. I don't think they're great, and I think the artwork is kind of boring. There are certain ones that I have in my collection because they are my favorite movies. Now, those ones I'm probably never going to get rid of, but I'm not going to buy any new ones. This one here, Rear Window, I had the choice, buy this one or buy the standard release. And I chose this because it's one of my favorite Hitchcock films. I think the artwork on here is really awesome. And what was being offered on the standard edition, I just wasn't into it as much. Same thing for this Jumanji set. I thought the standard edition was really boring. This was just really awesome and cool. But I have a ton of movies in my collection that are just boring. It's a steelbook just to be a steelbook. And there's this online YouTube community of people that are actually obsessed with steelbooks. It's all they talk about, steelbooks and slipcovers. And there's been a huge shift in the market, I think, because of that. I think the YouTuber movie community just, being crazy about, oh, I got to get the steelbook and making these videos like hunting. Those videos get a lot of views. Those people, they're doing their own thing. That's their passion. Super awesome. But that's not every collector. And now you go to Walmart and they have a whole steelbook section. That's wonderful. The more physical media for people to buy, the more movies there are for options for collectors, that's really cool. Fright Night specifically, I have the limited edition Twilight Time Blu-ray, which is really fine. I think it's an amazing picture. It looks beautiful on my high definition TV in this room. It looks great on the 4K TV downstairs, but I would have loved to get the 4K version of that. They released it on 4K Steelbook, so I passed. It went out of print, and then the demand for the movie went a little high, and as they re-released the movie, they re-released another 4K Steelbook, the exact same image. So those people that collected that initially, knowing that it was kind of limited edition, I think they got screwed over because now it's not very limited. It's been a second printing. And even if there's some kind of indication, if it's a first printing or second printing or whatever it is, the artwork is still the same. It feels kind of soulless and empty. It definitely feels like a cash grab. And for me, if I was a Steelbook collector, I would feel a little gypped. The same thing just happened to the Fifth Element Steelbook. I purchased that one because I absolutely love it. I think that the artwork is great, and it's one of my favorite movies. I really enjoy having that. But then they recently reprinted all those Steelbooks. Why try and collect these things if the limited edition rarity is kind of gone, if they're just going to reprint these and not change anything? There was a time where I thought buying a Steelbook movie was the dumbest thing in the world. I completely understand it now, having bought some of my own, but there's a few movies that I don't have in my collection, even though I'd like to add, specifically because it's a Steelbook. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this entire Steelbook conversation. If you're into them, if you're not into them, if you even care. You're going to want to watch this video right here if you want to see my entire Steelbook collection before I get rid of it. And with that, watch a movie today, and I'll catch you guys next time.